check this.
Still spinning. There we go. Now it should be working. Mercury retrograde shadow has begun, clearly. 2 weeks away from it, and technology is already being strange.
Just well, that explains a lot. I was thinking it was the sun, solar flares, but I've had some crazy stuff. That and timelines. Timelines lately are insanity.
They really are.
I'm seeing them flip around. Yeah, I see them flip around a lot lately, like daily.
It does make you wonder what's going on with those timelines too. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, everybody. I'm trying to fix my mic. Excuse me.
Light in the sage.
There we go. Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Hope you all slept well last night. We had some crazy storms last night. It was wild here.
Yeah, we've been having storms every single night.
Yeah.
Not normal at all, of course.
They're not normal storms either. There's probably close to 1,000 lightning flashes in our area.
Yeah, that's never normal.
Easily. And it was funny. I went to look at the app to show where lightning strikes were. And there was just, the whole map was nothing but strikes. So it was it was a crazy show we had in the sky last night. Anybody else see that? And I feel that the shift has been intensifying. We've been noticing certain signs that show that the energies are getting more and more chaotic. You're probably right, though, about the solar flares being part of that. The sun has been acting
part of it. Yeah, that's what's making the lava go crazy. Hi, everybody. I'm Rachel Chamness. Sound waves, yeah. For those I see a lot of people here that I know. What?
Hasn't been that long since we've chatted.
I don't know if I know everybody here, but I know a few of you guys look very familiar. Or I know you guys. So hi.
Nice to see you all. So what have you been up to?
I've been a little wild and crazy with content creation as usual. I already have my regular stuff is, I have a monthly membership group. There's a lot of channeling and healing and connections and meditations and stuff that I do for that. And then I have my regular session days and I still have that TV show coming out, the Ethereal TV. It's like just about to launch. They redid it last year. So last year we were going to launch and then they took it down, decided to do it a little bit differently, which I love. I love how they're doing it now. So that should launch soon. It should launch in Roku, Fire TV, Amazon and Apple. I think probably July, maybe August.
How exciting.
Yeah, that's fun.
So what is it going to be all about?
Well, Ethereal TV is it's a whole new thing. It's like Gaia in the fact that it's all metaphysical, but or it's all metaphysical or feel good. Like we also have cooking shows and yoga and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And right now it's self-produced, more like this, like a little bit more like a podcast. But then that's just the first step, and they have a lot of steps before we get to our studios. And then there's going to be a social media, which would be so great.
How exciting.
And, yeah, there's a lot of steps to it. So it's kind of fun. I'm excited about it. So that's coming up, and they've been in a lot of the CEO, Ellen Malloy. She's Ellen Malloy. She is amazing, and she's been in a bunch of like magazine covers and everything. There's a lot of, I don't know, people are really excited about how it's something new and different, and which is like, I think more step 2. Step 1's a little bit like it's a vetted metaphysical space of shows, That's pretty cool. We all do different things. Mine is called Higher Realm Activations. And so what I do is I sort of do a mini version of what I do in my monthly group. And I bring in one being, I trans channel them, I attune the audience to them or to one concept of theirs. And then what's the next part? I haven't done one in a while. Oh, then I answer questions from the collective in trance, and there's an activation to something. It's fun. And it's
Wow.
just a little 30-minute show. Yeah. Takes forever to
Wow.
make, but it's only 30 minutes when it's done.
You
And
know,
the
okay.
other thing I'm really doing right now is my YouTube channel at Soundwaves Heal. I have been posting 3 times a week for a while. So it's getting you know, wild and crazy over there. So I've got my podcast on Monday, which is 5D channels and chats. And then Wednesday is either a liquid Reiki shamanic healing or a meditation. And then Saturday is a student spotlight where my students
Oh,
or
your schedule
grads
is
are,
very full, isn't it?
yeah, that's just part of what I'm doing. Then of course, also working on my next retreat in the background, which isn't really not until April. I've got a new,
I was gonna say, I love the photos from your last retreat. It looked like it was a great time.
thanks. I have some new photos to put up too. It was fun. Yeah. And then I have a new product coming out, which I'll be announcing soon. It's kind of fun, something to help inexpensively. I'm just looking at with how crazy the world is. I just always want to make sure I can help everybody. I know that my time is expensive, so I try to do a lot of free stuff and try to make things easy for everyone. I do donation-based healings and things like that. I try to make sure that it's accessible to everyone who needs help. So,
Yeah.
and so I do a lot of that. And then I'm also working on music and an album. We're kind of doing a lot of things.
I was
And the
gonna
music's
say
still healing
you've
music.
got all different things that you're working on too. That's exciting.
Yeah, just kind of expanding. I'd like to eventually open a retreat center. So that's where I'm
That's kind
going.
of my dream too, is to have a retreat center. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the
Yeah.
air. A lot of people are getting that from their guides, and I think it's really amazing. I think that's what we're supposed to be doing. I get that from a lot of my clients too. Like that's where we're going. So
Yeah.
I would love that.
Place where people
Well,
can come
Laura,
and get a clearing and a healing and to
yeah,
learn things and
we need to buy
all the
that
good
Scottish castle.
stuff.
We'll just leave it
A little
there for
bit
a while.
expensive,
Build on the other
you know.
side.
You don't have to tempt me to buy a Scottish castle. But the funny thing is, abundance is a thing that is worth talking about right now because I've got quite a few friends who are very ambitious, but they have a lack mindset. And I'm trying to shift that for them a little bit to kind of give them a little bit of because so many people are struggling right now. And yet we've
It's
got big
just
dreams. We've got big things we want to do. And yet we just see all the struggle instead. And yeah.
there's just so much. There's so much happening. I think that this is probably the last part of money slavery, but it's intense. Yeah, it's really intense. I mean, over the past 5 years or so, they've really upped the prices of everything, and now it's food and everything's just getting harder to obtain. Yeah, and
I
everything.
call it
And
the
if you
big
want to eat
squeeze.
healthy,
It's
wow.
like trying to squeeze the little bit of toothpaste out of the toothpaste bottle container. You know what I mean? Like everything is like squeezing all of what it could get out of everything right now. And it's really
Yeah,
frustrating. People are just trying to get by, and it's very sad to see so many
it
people
is.
struggling,
That's why I
especially when
wanted
they
to
have
put
such
so
big
much on
dreams
YouTube.
and so many wonderful things they want to do for the collective, and to see them struggle, it's very frustrating.
It
But
is.
that lack mindset has to go. You have to really be thankful for what you already have for you to unlock new blessings, and it needs to be more than just ambitious. You need to get off your butt and get out there and do stuff. You can't just expect things to be handed to you. And that's part of the problem with some people I've noticed is they expect to just win the lottery. And some of them aren't even buying a ticket. We'll put it that way.
Well, yeah. I think it's I think the hardest thing is that we're so programmed and we have so much experience in the lack. And it's hard for some people to see the other side. You know, when you are flipping from a old mindset to new, sometimes it can be really frustrating because you start to see that you are really doing it like, oh, I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. But that's actually a good thing because now you're noticing it and you can flip it. And I think that timeline work is the easiest way to really do a big shift. If you've been broke like your whole life, then working on timelines can be really helpful to shift you, you know, and listen
And
to your
also
spirit
getting and
guides.
clearing too, because we're finding a lot of curses on people, a lot of
Oh, yeah.
vows being cleared right now. Vows of poverty. I had one.
Oh, you have to clear those vows. Yeah. Poverty vows. And there's all kinds of other vows too. And if you're working in the metaphysical realm, you definitely need to make sure you have cleared every kind of past life where you were, you know, working in the negative, you know, not working in the light. And all of that stuff is can be tying you up. All any kind of slavery background, you know, past lives with not just body slavery or but like in sexual slavery, all the things that we know, but also like money slavery. There's all kinds of slavery, and there's also magic slavery. There is a
Well,
lot
I've
of
seen
that
some
that
of
needs
that
to be
recently.
cleared. Yeah, I have a donation-based healing for that one called Personal Sovereignty on my website. It's like $1 or more. You can. It's a group healing.
It's insane what people bring with them from their past lives too. I found a vow of celibacy once where somebody was wearing a chastity belt in the astral.
Yeah, I
I
usually just
was like,
clear that too,
seriously?
just in case. But like, if you're having trouble with that, you should definitely need to look. If you're having a dry spell, check out any past vows of chastity for sure.
Yeah, no kidding. I didn't even realize that was the thing.
Well, they kind of go together because some of them are like lives of being a nun or being a
Well,
monk or
it's a
something like
vow
that.
of purity, to be
Yeah.
technical. So you don't
Let's get rid of
realize how
that.
much you, yeah,
I mean, you know, when our
also
guides,
vows of suffered, vows to suffer. I've seen that a couple times where people have been felt so guilty for something they did in a past life that they basically chase away their own happiness for
yes,
multiple lifetimes.
that's like the same thing as like, it's the same concept of removing the past life where they were evil, quote, quote, or whatever, you know? It's
Yeah.
like we unconsciously feel guilty about that or think that we
Oh
don't
yeah.
deserve it. If you think you're not good enough or you don't deserve like a, a a job or working as a light worker, then you probably have one of those past lives for sure.
Mm-hmm. RJ had a good question. Thank you, RJ. Where were our higher power when these vows and contracts were agreed upon?
Well, sorry, RJ, you agreed. You thought it was a great idea. You were like, I can do it. I'm gonna come to Earth and
For
it's gonna be
herself is like,
awesome. I'm
oh,
gonna
free
crush
will.
it.
Go ahead, make your own decisions. That's fine.
And then yeah, we were overconfident, I think, when we decided all the things we'd work on in this life.
I call it a triple college major. It's like you. It's like you.
I love
I
it.
signed up for part one, and then shit. I thought, well, maybe I'll just triple it, and thought I would
Yeah,
take on 3 times the amount of work in one lifetime.
could totally do
I've seen
this.
quite a few people like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm one of those people.
Yeah, no kidding. I've lived like 5 lifetimes in one, technically already.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Sometimes when I think about just 20 years ago, I'm like, is that even me? Uh, I mean, I'm
Seriously.
sure people have known me my whole life are like, what? What does she do now?
So funny. You
That
just
girl?
never know where you're going to find yourself 20 years from now. And it's funny because the 20-year-old, the me from 20 years ago would have thought the me now is completely insane.
That's funny. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
yeah.
I didn't even believe in aliens back then, 20 years ago. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
girl,
And
I
now
always
I'm
believed.
like, oh, I got one standing right next to me. Like, uh-huh. Michelle says 2005 was 20 years ago. That's trippy. Oh, man.
Sometimes I write like 2005 or 2015. I'm like, no, like 2025.
Yeah. I never know what
That's
year
how
it
you know
is
you're getting
anymore.
old.
But the time is not what it used to be either. Time has been changing.
Yeah.
And it's probably because of the timeline shifts as well. What have you noticed with
I
the
would think
timeline
that's
shift?
it. Yeah, the timeline shifts are crazy. I mean, I'm seeing things like every day. Like, yes, okay, so 2 days ago, someone signed up for a discovery call, and I was like, ooh, that's a bad time. Why didn't I cut off my calendar? I thought I did. And then I was like, oh, I can do it. I can do it. And then I checked it again, and it was an hour earlier, and I was like, oh, that's easy. But I mean, it was literally like I was looking at my calendar. It was literally like right next to something else, going live later for my group. And I was like, ooh, that's really close. And then now it's like this, and you can't, it's not, there's no reschedule button. So, or I would have gotten an email. So it wasn't rescheduled. That's like one little thing. But I see little things like that all the time. Or I talked to this woman the other day, and she called for an onboarding call for my membership tag. And she was like, I was like, you're not signed up. So I'm not sure like how you got this. Like, and she was like, I'm totally signed up. We went in there. She wasn't signed up. And she was like, but I've seen all this before. I was like, wait, timeline shift.
No kidding.
I mean, just little things that are super obvious, you know?
I'm always looking out for stuff like that because I do notice that every once in a while I'll find something that completely does not make sense unless there's an explanation of a timeline shift.
Yeah.
Where people that have completely different memories or something, you know what I mean? There's just a lot of that recently.
Do you notice too with your kid, like that he remembers things that you're like, that never happened, but he's like, I mean, I feel like with kids, I don't know, my kid
He
had a few
calls it out
things.
more than I do. There was a
Yeah.
couple months ago, I said something to my mom about how I'm going on a trip, and she's like, okay. And then we had a conversation about it. And then a month or so later, maybe 6 weeks later, I mentioned the trip again, and she goes, you never told me you were going. And I was like, we had a full-blown conversation about this. I told you the dates and everything. And she's like, no, you didn't. I don't remember any of that. So as we get in the car later on, Aiden goes, maybe it's a different Grammy from another timeline.
My kid's like, do you remember that?
My kid, like, seriously.
My kid gave me this whole thing of like this trip we went on and like detail of like visiting my brother, which he's never been to my brother's house in Dallas. And he was like telling me all, and I was like, and I've been there. So I was like, wow, that's correct. But we have never been there together. And you've never been there. And he's like, yes, we have. How can you not remember this? And I was like, okay.
It's getting more and more interesting. We'll put it that way for sure. You just never know what new excitement and weird confusion is going to pop up because of this shift and all this stuff happening.
Yeah. Tom says, I can't wait for alien disclosure. Yeah, I feel like we've been waiting for that for way too long. So I can finally not feel crazy, right? Yeah. I mean, there's been disclosure. It's just buried in the media.
Yeah.
Just using quotes because it's bullshit.
I know. Honestly, I watched the news for 2 minutes the other day and it triggered me so hard. I ended up leaving my parents angry because they wouldn't turn it off. I was like, you're turning the shit off or I'm leaving. And they're like, no, I'm not turning it off. I'm like, bye. I'm not sitting around with this shit. See you.
Gosh, I could not. Yeah.
No. I even told my mom, if you keep watching this shit, I'm not going to clear you anymore. Like, yeah.
Well, at least she lets you clear.
Watching the news, that is on you. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're not learning anything. If I mean,
instantly.
You.
Well, instantly when you turn the news on, you're getting implants, unless you know how to shield, which I'm sure.
Yeah, and they don't. They get emotionally enveloped in all of it, and they start getting triggered by it, and that's how you pick up shit from watching the news. It's one of the worst things you can watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the biggest things of her advice. It's funny too because I've noticed that certain age groups, like if I do a clearing on a boomer, most of the time I get the advice from the guides, tell them to turn off the news and stop watching the news.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
But if it's a younger person, they tell them to stop watching YouTube and stop get off social media. You're seeing too much negativity on social media. Get off your screen, basically.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It is.
I mean,
but it's that generation. They obsessively watch the news and they watch before bed too. Like, think of how much that's affecting your dream.
That's a program. Yeah, that's a program where if you don't watch the news, then you don't know what's going on in the world, then now you're stupid. So you have, if you're a smart person who has something interesting to say, you're a person who watches the news. That's like the greater generation for sure right there. And I'm sure that bleeds
Meanwhile, the truth
into
is probably the opposite. It
boomer.
it actually rots your brain. That's what one of the soul guides actually told me. They're like, no, it's literally rotting his brain. He can't tell him not to watch the news anymore.
I sometimes remove like 30 or 100 implants from people who watch the news.
Yeah. And it's and then you wonder why it affects you so much. Like it makes people stress, and they have all this fear, and they are manifesting all kinds of stuff in their life that they don't actually want to happen,
Yeah.
and it's just it's sabotage is what it is, watching the news.
It is.
And
It's
yeah,
all
we all want
programming.
to be educated. We want to know what's going on in the world, but you're actually lying. You're just reading lies. You know what I mean? Whenever you get into that, you're better
Well, and
off believing
now
hearing the opposite than actually believing anything they tell you, because none of it's real or true anyway.
you can't believe anything anymore because
Nope.
now AI has reached that place where it can imitate anybody. I mean, there's like YouTube channels that are copycat of spiritual people where it's not them, it's AI, and it's full of demons and all kinds of stuff. So my friend was watching one and she was like, I don't know what happened. And then she was like, because she was like, I was in the middle of this meditation, this huge demon showed up. So I turned it off, but I can't remember who it was. Someone really famous who has a great show. And then she was like, I found out it wasn't his channel. It was like an AI meditation that was ripping him off,
There's
and
going to
it
be a
wasn't him.
lot more of that happening for sure, where,
Mm-hmm.
it's not even real people talking. It's just AI and convincing people that I was watching news articles. What do you call it? News, what do you call it? Recordings. And they were like, no, none of this is real. And it looked very real. So, and it's brand
Yeah.
new. I mean, AI has only been out for a couple of years. Imagine how it's going to be 10 years from now. Nobody's going to
Do you
be
want
able
to
to believe anything.
do you want to hear something that's so creepy? My husband is a manager at Whole Foods, so Amazon owns it. So they have this new training module where it's completely AI, like all of it. It's AI people, the whole thing's AI. He came home, he's like, I can't get the image of this AI being out of my head. I had to clear him. It was so gross, like really gross. He said it's
We even
horrible.
find AI entities on occasion. Not very often, but we
Yeah.
do. I found an AI octopus on somebody. I was like, what the
Oh,
fuck?
really?
Like,
I
AI
see the
octopus?
bots. I removed the
Yeah.
bots. Yeah. I actually have a healing for that coming up on my YouTube in about 2 or 3 weeks. AI
People
bot
don't
removal.
understand that, they're like, well, AI is just exists in the computer. And I'm like, but everything is consciousness. Everything, you know what I mean? Like, you're in a holographic reality right now.
I mean, it's
So,
very easy to take over something that is nothing.
yeah,
You know,
it's going to
we've
get more
crossed
and
the
more
reality of
interesting
it.
for sure. And it does make you wonder, especially how things are going to go with education, because so many people are now using AI to educate people too. And
That's what I
AI is going
mean.
to be able to control what people are
Yeah.
learning. And that is the scariest thing of all for me, because if you look at what happened with Google, Google used to be, the founder of Google was very strict about what he wanted for people to find as results. He wanted people to find honest, accurate results. That was what the
Ha!
founder originally intended. And then when he died, Google's, their board members or whoever it is that controls it now, they shifted it 180 degrees completely, where it's like only marketing employees and bots, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just become complete nonsense. And that's exactly what's going to happen with education.
Yeah.
They're just going to start quietly omitting things and hiding certain information and not including it. And then the next thing you know, that knowledge has disappeared.
Well, if we just work on our timeline work, though, we're just going to observe it. We'll be observing it in that timeline. And our timeline will
Mm-hmm.
be much better than that. So we don't have to, it sucks, but we don't have to worry about it. We
Yeah.
will find a way around it. And then
It's all about
hopefully,
setting your intention for the kind of future you want to have.
yeah, hopefully this is the last bit of it. I mean, I keep hearing that. It's hard though. It's hard to believe, we're in the thick of it. But um they say
Yeah,
like
we really.
2026 is going to be totally different and 2027 is going to be like we'll be so far down the 5D timeline that it will be so much better. But
Is that
I
what the
feel
guys
like,
are saying for you? Is what they've been saying?
hmm
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that'll be
I mean,
nice.
that lines up with if, it's happening between um 2029 and 2031, that is not going to be like that. It's going to have to be, gradual. And then what is 2031? If that's what a bunch of people got, that's about the time when we're in ascension, then at what stage? Because I hear that there's an in-between stage where we have to where we have to adjust to a, crystalline body or understanding our manifestation and things like that. So like you're saying, I think the most important thing is just watching our thoughts and what we're manifesting and catching ourselves where we're stuck in programs and where we're stuck in old stuff or poverty consciousness or like what's our deal?
World War III consciousness, RJ. I see that. Remember last
Oh,
month was World War III, and now all of a sudden it's gone quiet. Yeah.
yeah. Aaron says the goop stage of becoming a butterfly.
I like that, Aaron. The goop stage. Growing pains. Yes, exactly. And also it's almost like it's everything is coming to a head. Like there's a lot of stuff that seems to be culminating right now and finishing. It's like that 9 year that people were talking about as well.
Yeah. What do you see? I mean, the one thing I am a fan of is I know it's a little political, but is RFK because he's I'm big on like real foods. So if any of that is real, then I'm into it.
I have so many friends, honestly, that have what they believe to be celiac disease, or they believe they are gluten intolerant, and then they go to France or somewhere in Europe, and then they can eat the food just fine,
Yeah,
and then
because
they
there's
come
no
back to
glyphosate.
America, and then they get sick
That's me.
again. Yeah, no,
Yeah, I could
I
eat wheat
tested it
there.
out in France too because I felt so much better in France when I was eating the food there, and I ate the bread just fine. There was nothing, you know what I mean? Like, and then sure enough, I come back to the States, and yeah, you can just tell how much unhealthier our food is here.
It's horrible. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Tom, that's because I have, the stuff on my lenses that the blue light blocker. It makes it purple. It's not magic. Sorry. Tom
Oh,
says, does everyone see the purple around Rachel's eyes? It's
thank you
just
for the compliment, Ariana. It's very
blue
sweet of you.
blocker. um, what were we just saying? I was going to say something. Oh, well.
I was also something else I was going to ask you. Just
Oh,
for
food.
those who may be new to your work, do you mind just explaining a little bit about what you do?
Sure. I'm a shamanic channel and mentor. I'm at soundwavesheal.com and I do a lot of trance channeling. So I help light workers expand into higher dimensional frequencies to heal and bring forward messages from beings of light through trance channeling. So I teach all levels of trance channeling and healing in higher dimensions. I teach a psychic Reiki healing course and I also teach a lot of light language. I actually have a light language class coming up. I always have a video that you can be attuned on my on my on my website and sorry I got distracted, thanks for posting that on my website, but every year or so I do a live light language class, so I have one coming up on the 13th and actually we'll give you guys a coupon if you want 35% off if you want to come, where I teach light language. There you go.
Yeah, got that.
Well, it goes to mine. Does it go to yours? You might need to, yeah, post it. But the coupon is Shine35LL. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. And so yeah, that's what I do. I do sessions. I have a monthly mentorship group for light workers. I have the YouTube channel, upcoming ethereal TV show, upcoming music, hopefully soon. But
How
doing anything in
exciting.
the summer as a mom is like, I just have to keep giving myself grace. Like, I'll get this done in August. I'm like dying to do some things. I'm like, I'll get it done in August.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chantel, the thing about RFK, I was excited when he was appointed to, but you just can't trust anybody in
Exactly. That's where I
politics.
stand. I don't trust any politicians as far as I can throw them. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about I'm excited about the no die thing if it but I mean some of the things that they're all about social media bullshit. So you just never know if it's actually anything at all. It's kind of like they
Well, this is
banned,
something that should have been done decades ago.
right?
So now he's going to get all the credit for something that, I mean, why the hell hasn't it been done before?
Well, like
You
in
know what I mean?
Tennessee,
Like
they
Europe
banned,
outlawed most of the shit that's in our food, and yet we allow
yeah,
it. And it's like, why are we even allowing it? Well, because the politicians can buy off people very easily, or vice
yeah,
versa.
lobbyists. But
Yep, lobby.
what really changes people is, I mean, what changes things is what you buy. If you stop buying that stuff, they'll stop making it, as you can see, because there was so much like media from RFK about how bad dyes are for you, even though, I've probably been posting that for 10 years, but um because of that, people really were like, oh, dyes are bad for you. And so people stopped buying them. So now, of course, it doesn't matter that there's a mandate. I mean, it's probably not that strong, but it's because people aren't buying it. That's really what's making it change.
What was that one quote? You vote for the kind of world you want with every dollar you spend.
Yeah. It's your pocket that changes things. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're in control.
Completely
Yeah.
agree. Problem is, those NPCs will buy anything.
Yeah. That's true.
It's the problem.
But
We
like
didn't have the NPCs, it'd be different.
they banned the chemtrails here, but there's no fine and there's no consequence. So it hasn't even decreased them at all. Like, it's so stupid.
Like,
so
hey,
there's
you're
a lot
not
of
allowed
times.
to do that. Okay, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. Okay, well, I'm
Exactly.
going to
It's
continue to
just
do that.
bullshit. Yeah, excuse me.
No, I agree completely. And Michelle's also got a good point. People will fight to save the cancer-causing dyes just because RFK wants to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Just because they don't
your
like the
4D
person
duality.
presenting it. Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's other people I've seen comments where people will be like, you better not change the flavor of my Skittles. It's like,
I mean, if you are addicted to the dye flavor, but I don't think they're going to change that much.
Humans are very adverse to change. And they have no idea the level of change that's coming. It's going to be massive. There's going to be a lot of shit that's going to go away because it's not serving the collective. Pharmacy, for example. I can't wait till pharmacies go away. There's other things that we could be using instead of pharmacies. There's healing centers. Yes, homeopathy. There's all kinds of things. And most of the time, they're just peddling poison anyway.
I mean, I'm looking forward to things like the Rife machine being like a machine that people have in their homes, that everyone has, something like that. There's all kinds of machines like that. I just had a podcast about one that my friend uses that I use with sessions with her. That's really amazing. Some photon machine. And I have a Rife machine that we've been using for years. Frequency machines, that's where it's at, because you don't even need to take, like, you can run vitamins through this thing. You can run, like the days of taking 500 pills in the morning that are just like all your vitamins and everything. I cannot keep, like, I did that for like 20 years. I'm so burnt out on taking supplements.
Yeah.
I'd rather just run it through
we
the
do
machine.
A lot of psychic surgeries on people for clearings. Like if somebody's really struggling, they'll do the clearing because they want to know if an entity is causing it, but then they'll also do the psychic surgery to get some really intensive healing while we do the clearing. And you won't believe how depleted people are of basic minerals and nutrients.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the number one thing I tell people, because they'll be like, why am I so sick? Why is all these problems happening? Why am I so unhealthy? And then we go in and they're like, they don't even have any magnesium in the body. They're like, they're not sleeping at all. And they're like, your body is zero magnesium in it, fucking zero. And you're not sleeping well. And you wonder why. Like, people don't think. They don't think to check their bodies. They're not taking care of themselves at all. I should say some of them, but some people do. But most people are they just eat crap and then wonder why they feel like shit, and then wonder why their bodies aren't handling things well. One person I checked, their family was really, really concerned about her because they thought, her mind was slipping away, that she was getting Alzheimer's and stuff. And the guides are like, no, she's just severely dehydrated to the point where her brain has started to shrink in size because it's so dehydrated.
Ew.
I know, right?
I know, when in doing sessions, like, you become a sort of medical medium no matter what, because that's what people need. When you're working on them, I get all kinds of medical advice for people all the time.
And they just suggest pills. Like, here you go, take this pill. Maybe this will help your memory. Maybe this will help that. Maybe this will help that. And then you find out, no, it's literally just water and electrolytes is what they were needing. And their body was literally starved of nutrients and electrolytes. And that is why the memory was starting to get so bad. But people don't think anything of it.
Also low vitamin B, because low vitamin B is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Because if you have like a lot of trauma, which is basically every single person on this earth, but it can trigger pyroluria, which is it's just a condition where your blood like holds on to B6 and takes it out. And that's what causes all kinds of ADHD, autism. It can cause like autism spectrum to be worse, or, it's related, but also the depression and anxiety, even bipolar, if you don't get enough, and then if what you're getting is not being absorbed. And that's just fixed by vitamins.
This, right? One client that I checked was dealing with severe like mental health stuff, and they were diagnosed as bipolar. And I asked the soul guides, is this person truly bipolar? And they said, no, she's got leaky gut.
Yeah.
And I was like, leaky gut? And they're like, yeah, that's what's causing the symptoms. And I was like, holy shit.
That makes sense. Yeah. It's related, Oh, beamer nuts are great.
They didn't even put 2 and 2 together. And the guides were like, no, it's leaky gut. She's literally leaking parasites into her blood, into her system. From all the foodborne stuff, the stomach parasites and all that was going into her system and it's wreaking havoc on all over the body.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of bipolar stuff is pyroluria and things like that too, which is going to cause leaky gut too. So all of that's like related.
And our food is also causing leaky gut because our bodies aren't made to process it.
Yeah.
So it's literally eating away at the stomach lining and causing all kinds of problems. So yeah, that is definitely a big thing that people are not even taking into account.
We need that light body now.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know if I want to wait till next year. Give me that light body. I mean, isn't that what we're doing? That we're building light into our body. So we have to release all the programming, all the things that keep the light from growing in our body so that we can grow our light body for ascension. Yep.
Well, that's why light language is so important.
Light language, or just anything, any kind of healing or filling your body with light in any way, just connections, like sitting quietly and connecting to the earth, to new earth, to Gaia's 5D grid, connecting to your higher self, calling in your angels and guides and your sacred circle, and just being connected in the morning is so important.
It really is. Having that 20 minutes at least in the mornings to be able to center yourself and to reground yourself, because a lot of it's astral travel too.
Yeah, that's true. And if you don't really connect back in the morning, you can just be like, woo, like a balloon flying away from your nighttime travels.
That's what it feels like. I wake up feeling drunk and I'm like, shit, I didn't even drink anything. Okay, I'm ungrounded. And then you got to go walk barefoot outside for a few minutes and then it gets better.
I like to go outside too and just look at the sun for, to just balance that, what's it called? The circadian rhythms, look at the sun in the morning.
Listening to the birds too.
We have a lot of birds here in Tennessee. It's one of my favorite parts about Tennessee. There's like crazy birds outside all the time. And I think it's because too, they're just everywhere, but they come right on. I have a porch right here. And, I sit in here and record all the time. And I think because of the singing, they come close. And so like in every one of my videos, you can always hear the birds in the background. I don't know if it's like a blue avian thing or if it's just like, oh, she's singing again. We want to sing too, Well, they're always out there. It's so cute. Feels like Disney. We have bunnies. Well, it's kind of fun living here.
Jessica says Snow White.
Pamela, I love crows. I have been trying to like befriend these crows in the neighborhood, but I don't know what the people did who lived here before me because I can't seem to get them to come close.
Collars. You can get like a little thing that it's like a whistle, but it makes a crow sound. And then you throw some peanuts at them. That's how I made friends. You just call them in. And
they don't like peanuts.
Really? Yours don't.
These guys don't like them. Yeah. But I gave them liver once. They liked it. I have to like make a little spot.
They
Huh?
like mealyworms and other things. You can get some dried,
Oh, that's
you
be a good
know.
idea. Yeah.
They will watch over you if you make friends with them.
Mm-hmm. Your crows love peanuts? I mean, we
Yeah,
got
so
a
do mine.
huge bag, like 5 pound bag, and we fed them peanuts for over a year and they didn't eat them one time. We fed the squirrels. Basically, squirrels came and ate peanuts. Now the
I've been
squirrel will come
blaming
all
a
the way up on
lot
my
on
deck.
squirrels, and I found a deer in my bird feeder at 2 a.m. the other night. And I've been blaming the squirrels for ages, thinking it's all the squirrels. I've been getting all this anti-squirrel stuff because they have their own feeder, all right? Like I feed the squirrels too. You eat it
That's
yours, leave
sweet.
the rest alone. But no, there was a deer in my bird feeder the other day, and I was like, okay, that makes sense as to why I'm losing 5 pounds of bird feed a day. I was like, there should be like gigantic fat squirrels wandering around, but no, it wasn't the squirrels.
Oh, Buffy says unsalted whole shell peanuts only.
Yeah,
Do you
that's what
mean
I
out of
mean.
the shell? I was giving
Yeah,
them in the
yeah,
shell.
they like the shell.
Oh, well, mine don't. Hmm.
Good to know.
Yeah, but the person who lived in my house, like before the last owner, did feed the crows, and he fed them corn, and now I struggle with this corn growing all over the yard, like all the time. It's so annoying. I'm definitely not feeding them corn.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is not funny. I hate weeding.
I've been feeding hummingbirds as well. I really love the hummingbirds.
My neighbor has the most beautiful flowers. Like it's incredible garden, and I can see the hummingbirds in there. And I mean, I just like look at her. It's like living next door to like some sort of famous garden or something. It's that amazing.
Aw.
It's so
Think of
cool.
how high vibrational those hummingbirds are. After you
Yeah.
and I had a conversation like many, many moons ago about 3D elementals and how there are certain elementals that exist in 3D. We just don't
Yeah.
realize they're elementals, like seahorses and jellyfish, that
Hmm.
kind of thing. But I feel
Yeah.
like a hummingbird would have to be like a
I think
3D
a hummingbird is.
elemental.
Hmm. Let me check.
I
Yeah.
bet you it is.
And like frogs too. Someone was just talking about frogs. Frogs are too. Or some of
Really?
them. Not all of
Well,
them, but
you
some
see
of them.
that toad video of the toad and it's in the water and then it starts doing that humming thing and you can see the ripples in the water. It's one of my favorite sounds. I love those toad calls that they
That's
do. You
cool.
can
Well,
see the vibration.
my neighbor has this pond that they made, this little pond, and they have these crazy frogs. They sound so good at night. There's like bullfrogs or something. They're
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
We could just talk
Love
about
that.
animals all day.
But these are very high frequency sounds. And when you listen to them, it does kind of balance out your equilibrium quite a bit. That's why listening to birds is one of my
It's really
favorite things
important.
to do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
open my door a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So, Jessica says, that's what I call them when I see them. I just say, "What up, Odin?" If you see two crows, it's or two ravens, yeah, it's Odin. That's always the sign of Odin for me. There's two of them.
I love it. She said, Tracy said frogs are a sign of a thriving ecosystem.
Oh, well, good.
Yes, they only exist on healthy land, RJ said. Yep,
Well,
that's a good
I
sign.
mean, how many of you guys that are here are healers? Probably most everybody who's watching. Do you find yourself like, I'm so nuts? I'm like, I never stop working. I'm like at Walgreens and I'm like, raking the person in front of me because they look down or like harried mother, like I'm like, raking them like on the sly. I'm like always like putting light around people and do you guys do that all the time?
People
And then I'm
probably
like,
think I'm
how
nuts because
ridiculous.
I'm always like muttering to myself, but in person, I'm actually talking to my guides in public. I'd be like, Charlie, did you see that person? Can you check them? Holy shit, they need a clearing. Or like I'm walking into a space and I'll be like, there's a portal here. I can feel it. Somebody close that shit. And I'll be like just talking to myself, wandering through the store, asking my guides to do stuff. Like I talk to
Yep.
myself quite a lot. The neighbors
Or
see
it's
me
like,
talking to my birds and things. They probably all think I'm nuts, but I don't even care. It is what it is.
well, if you want,
But
I can channel somebody. I had an idea about channeling a fae being from my deck today.
that would be wonderful.
It's a fairy. I picked a card and I got fairy elf, maybe. And the card's love. which is fitting, which is what we need,
Do you
where
mind
we need to
sharing the
stay.
decks? There's a couple people that
Yeah,
don't know. She's got her own tarot deck that she designed,
I
and the art
do.
is beautiful in it.
Thank
It was
you.
Bradley's
It's
first deck. He brought it to our retreat in Colorado, and we were all
Hey,
using it, and
Bradley.
it was lovely. I love that deck. Elemental Magic and Manifestation deck.
Yeah,
It's a Fey
you can,
Oracle deck.
yes, it's on Amazon in the USA, or it's on my site, Soundwaves Heal, if you're outside the USA, and you can buy it. I'm gonna have an Etsy store soon enough because I have some new things. New
Yeah,
things.
it's a beautiful deck, and it's great. Honestly, it's great for
It's fun.
children too. It's great for adults, but also children really love it as well.
It's a good clarifying deck. It's
Mhm.
very helpful,
Yeah.
and it's simple. I wanted a really simple deck. I hate it when, I mean, I like interesting decks, but I hate it when I have to look at the book, I like, if I'm pulling the card for myself and I can't get it, then definitely let me look at the book. But if it's like 3 pages, I'm out. So I made it very simple. And so it turns out it's also good clarifying. But the cool thing about my deck is that each card has a being on it, and that being is available for anyone to channel. They come forward to channel. This is a genie,
I was to say,
Lar.
I like the Genie of the Old West.
Mm-hmm.
Manifest.
And that's what he told me his name was.
You know that.
I was like, okay. So yeah, they like to be channeled because that's what I do is I teach people how they're already channeling and expand their channeling abilities. So um, yeah, it turns out that this deck really does help you a lot open your senses in different ways. So it's for beginners or advanced in that way. So
Beautiful.
thank you. I love my deck, so I hope you guys love it
Ashley
too.
says, great deck. They're all super easy to channel. Shauna said
Oh,
it's an
yay.
amazing deck. I love it.
Thanks, guys. Okay, well, I'll channel Mebe. What should we ask him? Just for an update?
Yeah, please.
I haven't channeled him that many times. Let's
An
see.
energy update would be great. Just to
All
get an
right.
understanding of what we're looking out for and how we can prepare for what's coming.
I am here. And we Fae are everywhere. We have been coming in greater numbers to you so that you can feel stronger in your presence. For as you have spoken of, there's much in the 3 and 4D that is quite alarming to all who love life, happiness, and the earth. And in that way, you are very much like us. And so we are here to help you. We want to help you find a vibrational setting that helps you feel joy every day, that helps you understand the meaning of life. And the meaning of life is not what you see happening around you, but what is happening in your immediate life, in your family life, in your day to day life, what you see around you, what you are feeling. These are all hints of what is needing to be healed. And we wish to help. And yes, we do like to be acknowledged with gratitude. And yes, you can make us a small space and give us small gifts, but we also like your thank you. It is the gratitude that we are most needing from you, for we like to know that we are not wasting our time with you, and we'd like to teach you that gratitude is the most important thing. It is more important than anything. If there is nothing else that you do besides feel gratitude for everything good in your life, then you are already winning. Gratitude is what will bring you all the things that you wish. And do you wish for more abundance, for release of poverty mindset, as has been discussed? Then let's hear your gratitude for what you do have, for what feels abundant in your life. There must be something. Abundance is not just money, but perhaps abundance of love, abundance of time, abundance of hobbies, abundance of light. There must be some abundance somewhere in your life. And if you will find it and you will give gratitude for it every day, then your abundance will grow in many areas. And this is our advice to you. We are giving simple advice because it is more simple than you think. It is not as difficult as you may think, for the dark makes you think so, that things are difficult to change. But that is only the mindset. Things can change on a dime, and they have for many, and you can see that it will happen for you. All you need is more gratitude and more love feelings in your heart. If you can find those two things at set points throughout the day, you will change your life faster than you know. And that costs nothing. It costs nothing but time and dedication. How dedicated are you to the light, to being happy? Do you feel resistance to being joyful in your life? Then that is a sign that there is something to be cleared. And perhaps if you cannot bring yourself to gratitude, to love every day, many times a day, then there is something to clear. And so we ask you to work on that. Do you have questions?
Thank you. That's beautiful advice. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your service.
What little gifts can we leave for our Fae friends?
We love little pieces of candy or chocolate or soda or booze. The tiny bits. You can leave us little flowers. You can leave us little bits of your food as well. We'll take the energy. You don't need to leave it out past 2 or 3 days. Or you can let the ants. We like to let the ecosystem clean it up. So if you want to make a little space for us outside, then it shouldn't matter too much if you leave a little food out there. But we also just like your gratitude. And when you leave the gift, that's when we receive the gratitude. And we see that you've taken your time to do so. We also like shiny things like crystals, natural things.
Beautiful. Thank you. And what can we do to honor your space more?
We just want you all to come into the present moment with us for a moment. So if you come to a space that you have made for us and you just sit quietly with nature and feel yourself in the present moment, give some gratitude, then you may ask us for help, and we will help you as much as we can within your soul contracts. And we will show you the signs for you to help yourself. For that is how it works. When you ask for help, we give you the opportunity to change. We give you the opportunity to take a leap of faith. We give you the opportunities, but you must act. We cannot change your life for you. You must do it yourselves. But we can help a great deal.
We're very blessed for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And what are some signs we might identify from Fae presence? How do we know if there are Fae around?
You may see tiny orbs or pinpricks of light. You may see us on the camera in the same way. And yes, sometimes lens flare is also Fae, especially if you see small green lights or small purple lights. You may see us out of the corner of your eye. And you may feel our presence like a wing or a little air on your cheek or other. For some of us are in the air, some of us are in the ground. And you can ask us for a sign and we will give you one. And that's the easiest way to know, is to get a personal sign.
Thank you. We're very grateful for that as well. And is there any idea how we may intermingle more, I guess is the word I'm looking for, after the 5D shift, how we may come to embrace each other more closely? The Fae and the humans?
We will be mixing our dimensional frequencies sooner than you think. And the sightings of Fae will grow. They will grow more than your ET sightings. You will begin to see many seeing Fae and sensing Fae more often as the months go by, and we will be much more accepted in more than just the spiritual realm. But people will begin to accept Fae in the next year. It will feel a shift, or perhaps it will be a shift, for you will feel that it is so different. It must be timeline work, but it is the furthering of the 5D timeline. And you'll see a lot of this happening more and more as time goes on in this year and in the next. In 12 months, you will feel that the earth is a totally different frequency where you're concerned, in your home, in your body, in your friends, in your online space. You will feel it even more than you do now.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. One of our guests said, can you manifest as butterflies or fireflies?
Yes. Yes, we do. They are our helpers and they are in some ways Fae. They are animal Fae. And we do send them to you. And we are often nearby them when they are close to you. So this is a great sign from the Fae, especially fireflies.
Oh, beautiful. That's my favorite bug. Love them. And one person said, I previously heard never to ask the Fae for anything. Now we can. Is that okay to be respectful and ask?
Yes, if you are respectful and give your gratitude, we will help. And we ask you to ask us, for we cannot help unless you do. You must have some will. And it is perfectly safe to ask the Fae for help, as long as you are sure we are Fae. And so if you make an altar and call us in, then you can be sure we will safeguard that space for you.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Marissa would like to know, do the Fae play with cats?
Yes, the cats can see us. And many dogs too, many animals, the birds. We are there for them. That is what your cat is looking at many times, is us or your guides, sometimes your galactic guides, but us as well. And they are quite used to us.
Oh, wonderful. Can we just ask for one more final message to the collective? What would you like the collective to know today?
I would like to give you some hope for what's coming. Know that it will get lighter. You are in the deepest part, and it seems hopeless, but it is not without hope. And I'd like to give you a healing for love, to feel love more, to find love more, and to find gratitude in this life more often and more readily.
Wow. I got chills. That was beautiful.
Thanks. I need to channel this. I don't know if it's him or her, this being more often. So I think what
Lovely.
he was saying, what he was showing me is like not a regular altar. Like this is my regular altar, but he's saying if you have if you make a Fae spot, like a little garden or a little spot, like I like to use a tree. I have a tree outside that we use for little Fae, and you can always tell that it's Fae because it like never gets snow underneath it. It always looks like there's like a perfect circle, you know. And if you do that, they will make sure that that space stays clear, and then you don't have to worry that it's some imposter, Fae imposter, because there are plenty of those, you know.
That's usually what gave the Fae a bad rap back in the day. Is
It is.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't want
People
to
would be
ask.
very afraid of Fae and would say things like, blaming changelings and stuff, and then you realize that that was all involving entities.
Yeah. Hmm. And the elves and the Fae say that there's a lot of portals on Earth where you can go into the Fae lands, and that people who do that, they have a contract to do so. So like if they disappear in the Bermuda Triangle or whatever, it's their contract. And that I channeled this once, and it was really cool. I think we channeled. We were talking about Amelia Earhart. I don't know if we channeled her
Yes.
or someone else. Was it with you?
Yes, I remember that.
I
I
think
remember
it
you
was with
talking
you.
about it at least. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were saying that they that some of these people were totally 3D and then they just popped through the Bermuda Triangle and found themselves in the 5D. Crazy. I can't imagine.
Too bad she didn't tell us where that door was. It'd be nice to just pop through a door and be in 5D.
Yeah, I think we did identify a few. There was like one in Iceland, obviously, and then there is there one
There's a
in
dragon
Siberia?
triangle outside Japan as well.
Oh yeah, I bet.
That's a big one.
Mm-hmm. And of
Very
course, there's
similar to
all
Korea.
kinds of land on the earth that we have no access to. They talk about that
Oh, there's so much
all the
talk about
time.
Antarctica right now. They've been getting all kinds of signals from under the ice.
Ooh.
And they were so loud and out there that the scientists can't deny that it was happening because there were so many people that were aware of this. So now they're just like, oh yeah, it's just normal to have radio signals coming from under
Oh,
the
it's
ice.
so much bullshit of
And the
things like
scientists are
that.
like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? So yeah, they're just kind of nonchalantly being like, oh yeah, there's some signals coming from under the ice. Don't ask any
Yeah.
questions. You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about it. Don't mind the man behind the curtain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's totally normal. I love that. They always, oh, it's totally normal for this kind of rain or this. Did you see that? I saw this morning there was like in Alberta, maybe in Canada, there was like this waterfall. They were like suddenly we got this sudden storm out of nowhere, and then we had this waterfall of water coming from the sky. But it's something that happens. It's just a rare
That
occurrence
happened
of
in
it.
Paris this week too, where there was this huge, deluge of water that just came and flooded the whole area. Yeah, and people were wondering like where all this water came from, and it's like the skies opened up, and it was like raining cats and dogs, as they say, buckets.
Yeah, it was
So
crazy.
it's
They
not
showed this
normal.
picture and it was literally like a waterfall of water. It's like trying to explain away all this stuff that this weather modification.
Yep.
Ooh, Michelle, you have a troll? I
Oh,
love
it's a guy. Look,
trolls.
he's spamming. You're getting out of here. Bye bye,
Oh,
spammer.
that kind of troll. I thought you
That
meant
little fucker. Yep, he's gone
I was
now.
gonna pull
Block.
out my troll card. I thought you meant the good kind. You mean the troll
This is
kind.
this is
What
the
kind of trolls?
unfavorable kind of troll. We like the other kind of trolls. They're cool. He's gone.
I was all
Michelle
excited,
says, "No, I'm
Michelle.
not a real troll." Sorry, Rachel.
Oh
Carolyn just said a
well.
geyser just appeared in Nevada where there are none. Interesting. The Earth is definitely changing right now. You can tell there's all kinds of changes and shifts that are happening. And areas that were once very dry, like certain deserts, are in full bloom right now. And other areas that are usually very wet,
Really?
like the UK, are dealing with the drought.
Yeah, China just had that crazy flood. We had one of those in Baton Rouge, and I remember that's when I lived there. They was calling it the thousand-year flood, and that night before, I remember I have never ever heard any kind of lightning like that. It was like four lightning strikes at a time over and over and over and over again. It was insane, and I was like, "This is weather modification." And then all the non-flood areas, everything flooded. So many people lost their house. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Of
Jessica
course,
said
where we
Gaia is
lived,
not messing around. No, she's
yeah.
not.
But of course, where we lived was totally safe. It's
Hmm.
one of those things where you see it happening around you, but your life is manageable. It's like you're able to manage it, or you have a great lesson, but everything's like okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, Cherie said, yeah, we've been having rain every single night. It's nuts. That is so not normal.
I'm telling you, there's things are shifting, and it makes you wonder whether it's Gaia that's shifting things, the timeline. It could be pole shifts, Or it could literally just be weather modification, considering how much of the planet they control. We have no
Or
idea. It
it
could even
could
be
be
all of it.
just, yeah, it could be also like the volcanic earthquake stuff is solar flares. It could be that all the weather modification that's been done is now just messed everything up so much, and then they keep doing it, so it just, you know, but
Aaron just
it's
said they
not
don't want
normal.
us to know we're in the middle of living history. No kidding. We really are.
Yeah, we really are. Yeah.
As Dolores would say, you got a golden ticket to be born at this time, to be here at this time, to witness what we're manifesting right now. You are very blessed, actually. There's a
Yeah, that's
very
what my
long
guides
line of
say.
souls that want to get in here right now and they're struggling. They can't get in here. There's not enough, you know what I mean? It just makes
They
you
have to come as our
wonder.
pets.
Yep. They're
And the
coming
only
in as
spots
pets.
left is like your cat.
Well, it's crazy you say this too, because I found something very interesting last night and during one of the clearings that I was doing. So this young lady booked a clearing for her house, I should say her apartment complex, and also her pets. And so we went in and we removed a whole bunch of stuff from the apartment complex. But then we find out, so this poor cat was hiding in the closet, was losing a lot of fur. And so I was really quite concerned, like, what's going on with this cat? Well, we found a demonic attached to the cat. And
Oh,
then we found a spell and a curse on the cat. And then I found a dark contract on the cat with a level 2. And I thought, what the hell is going on? And none of it made sense until we got to the point where we're discussing the past life resonances, the past life trauma of the cat. It was a witch's cat.
oh,
They tortured the young lady that was, being deemed a witch, and they also killed her cat. And they were
no
awful to her
kidding.
cat. They tortured her cat before it died.
That's
And that
horrible.
cat has been holding on to the trauma ever since.
Poor baby.
I
Oh,
know, I couldn't believe it. I was like, a witch wound on a cat? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. And what was even more jarring, we found out that the owner of the cat now, it was the same young lady
of course it was.
that was killed as a witch. And I couldn't believe that. I was like, we think so much about human trauma. We think so much about our shit that we've been going through multiple past lives, and we don't even think that our pets might have been through similar trauma.
Yeah, it's true.
And
Uh,
it's incredible. And I asked, what's the best way to heal the cat? And they said by healing each other, by her healing herself and by recognizing it and coming to terms with it. And also by clearing the cat, because we cleared all of those contracts and all of the horrible shit that came from that.
yeah.
So it just blew me away that our pets are dealing with the same kind or similar
Yeah.
anyway trauma that we are.
Sometimes pets are your galactic friends. They don't have the golden ticket. So they come in as your pets to watch
Yeah.
over you and help you. Yeah.
And we don't even realize how much of them are also working on things and working on healing and trying to, release the pain from their past.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just incredible that animals are going through the same sort of healing journey that we are. And I didn't
Yeah.
even recognize that fully until last night when I heard that.
Yeah. My kitty's getting
So,
old. And I keep
yeah.
thinking she's gonna go, but she's like, nope, I'm hanging out. Like, okay.
But it's just so beautiful that we have that connection between some of our pets. You have no idea how much you actually might have a very, very deep soul connection with certain animals that come into your life.
Oh, definitely. I definitely feel that with my cats.
It's just beautiful, though, that we are also kind of helping each other. That the guide said that as she heals her past and her witch wound, the cat will also be healing theirs.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I mean, it's kind of like your kids too, or your spouse. You're
Yeah,
all working on your wounds together to heal together. That's why you're in this life together.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful to be able to have that understanding, that deeper understanding of why things are the way they are, and to have that context can really change everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's amazing just finding all these layers of our life. I mean, I think it's 11:11. I think it's cool how this life is exactly like we just come in so blind and then we learn so much, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just incredible. All the layers that we see, like where we're programmed, what's programming us, or what's not real and what is real, and uh, going towards that understanding. It's amazing. It's kind of fun. That's what we're here to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I wanted to promote this one more time for those who might have missed it towards the beginning, but Rachel has an upcoming rare live light language class that will be on the 13th of July. And she's been very kind to offer a 35% off coupon today. So do you want to just share a little bit of information about that?
Sure. So light language is how you're bringing through light codes. And I teach it in 6 ways in the class. I teach how to bring it through toning, which is singing, which you don't have to do, but you'd be surprised how well you can sing when you're channeling. And this is a class that I really recommend to beginner channelers because it's so good. Good way to learn to start channeling, but also recommend it to anyone who does healing because it's a great way to just add to your healing. And it's also speaking, drumming, hands, like sign language, dancing, art. There's all kinds of ways. And I even teach an advanced class that's like multi-dimensional codes, number codes, and sigils. But this one is the first 6. And I have a video on my site, which is a really good price that you can just do it and then send in a video to get certified. But this is a live class. You get certified when you're there because you won't leave the class until you are attuned. So I'll be checking my pendulum, making sure you're attuned. It's not too big of a class. It's a small class, and it's really fun. It's about 2 hours long, and we usually about 11 or 12 people, so not too many people. And it's kind of good. You want to have enough people so that you don't feel self-conscious when you're going, hi, you know what I mean? So like nobody can really hear you, but you know, it's not too many people that it takes too long. Ariana, I actually teach a lot about how to keep from getting attachment from channeling in my channeling classes, and I have a free guide for channeling your spirit guides that can help you like begin to learn that kind of stuff. There's a lot of free stuff about protection in there.
Keep in mind, the best way to protect yourself is keeping your vibration high. If your vibration is very high, you don't have to worry about these things. This is just something that is, you know, your vibration protects you.
Yeah. But you can also have like a sacred circle that you use or a sacred sphere. And, you know, I recommend Reiki 1. In fact, I don't teach trance channeling to anyone who doesn't have Reiki 1 because Reiki 1 permanently up levels your vibration. So I'm a big believer in it. I teach a psychic Reiki healing course, and yeah, so I teach lots of stuff, but my light language class will be fun. And yeah, I have a freebie, and you can get to know me in this little freebie too. You get a few emails of my story.
This is what a lot of people are working on right now, is getting to know their soul guides better and work on that connection. And because once you strengthen that connection, you are infinitely more powerful mentally, and your discernment goes up, and you're just you're more in tune with everything.
I mean, my spirit guides told me how to do everything. I mean, when I first started this, I was totally clueless, you know? And my spirit guides were like, guess what you can do? You can attune people to fairies. And I'm like, wait, okay, back up. So fairies are real? And they're like, yes. And you can attune other people to them. And I was like, tell me how to do this. So I you know, like, and then they'd be like, okay, now you're going to make a Facebook group. Okay, now you're going to make a monthly group. So I started my monthly group in like 2017. And so it's got a lot, it's like huge mystery school in there. It's fun, my tag group. But they just told me one thing at a time. And then I was finally able to do this full time in 2020. So listen to your spirit guides. They will bring you in the right direction. I mean, look what they did for you, Laura. They were like, you just need to go live 5 times a week at 10 o'clock. I think I'd cry if my guides told me that.
It was 7 days a week when I first started. I had to give myself weekends. I took, it was a lot. And I'm actually even considering dropping Fridays too.
I mean, it's a lot.
It is. It's a lot. It's actually the most challenging thing that I do is the podcast, because it just takes a lot of energy and time and organization and all of that. But it's worth it, considering we're just holding space for the collective and just knowing that people are having the right connections brought forward. And so many people have already taken classes of yours in my community, and they've loved every minute of it.
Oh,
So
thank
thank
you.
you for being that extra help that we need in order to get everybody ready for what is coming.
Oh, thanks, Laura. Yeah, I do a lot of lives too. I used to go live, but I mean, once a week was like a lot for me. Now I go live every other week, and then I just use them for my podcast. That's how I've consolidated my time. I go live, it's really fun. Everybody's there. They ask great questions. I answer the questions, and then I send it off to be edited, and look great, and then I post it on my podcast. Well, most of the time. Yeah. And then when I'm not live, I'd have my students do it. So yeah, but I don't know how you do it so many times. That's a good idea, like drop Wednesday or Friday. But
I mean, honestly, as long as I take vacations every once in a while and give myself a break, it's fine. So so far it's okay. But yeah, it is a lot.
I think it's actually easier to go live than it is to make a video. Like when I go live and there are people here, it feels like such a community. The frequency is raised by everyone being here. It's so much easier. When I make an ethereal TV show, it takes me forever.
I can only imagine.
It's just me, and I'll like restart like 100 times. Like I'm just like, I mean, hopefully nobody can hear me. Like hopefully no one's home. Where I'm like, hi, I'm Rachel Chamness at Soundwaves Heal. Hi, I'm Rachel Chamness at soundwavesheal.com. Oh no, start again. Start like
I'm one of those
times.
Extremely independent types where it's like pulling teeth to get me to ask for help. So that's been a big challenge recently, is to ask for the right help and to get more people kind of delegating and doing things to be part of that group. It's helping a lot. So very, very blessed to have the support units that I do. I have a lot of supportive people in my life, and I'm sure you do as well, considering how busy you are also.
Yeah, I have these great YouTube video editors now that just like they edit 12 to 16 videos for me a month. And it's amazing. I'm like, this has changed my life.
It takes a village, None of us are meant to be isolated. We're supposed to be doing things together. We're supposed to be working together. And everything gets more challenging when you try to do things on your own.
Yeah. It's just, sometimes you just need the help. It's worth it for your sanity.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
But it was such a lovely chat today. Thank you so much, Rachel.
Thanks for having me on.
Time to see you.
Yeah, it's nice to see you too.
Honestly, I would love next time you come on if we could have a word with Alpar as well, because there's a lot of people talking about blue avians too. So we'll chat about him next time. Yeah.
Okay, we'll bring in.
There's been a lot of talk about the blue avians recently. Did you see about the TV show? What is that TV show called?
Oh gosh, Resident Alien.
Yes,
I love that show.
They're not.
That's my favorite part. When they go to the seminar or whatever, and he's like talks about all the different beings, and then he's like, "Oh no, but the blue avians are just nice. They're such nice people."
I laughed so hard, like I was in tears. I was laughing so hard.
I love that. Show's my favorite show.
The Grays, and he's like, "Insidious assholes."
He's great.
Did you notice though they had the reptilians on the board behind the speaker, and they didn't even mention the reptilians. They had a big picture of the reptilians, and they didn't say a word.
Well, they try to make it sound like it's the Greys. They blame the Greys for all the reptilian stuff in that show for sure.
They're working together a lot, to be honest. Like there are
but there's different factions
right now, as they say. They're working
Actually,
together.
there is a new season of Resident Alien, but it's by pay only. So I haven't figured out if it's going to be non-pay or if I need to buy
Pamela said, "What show is this?" It's called Resident Alien on Netflix. It's hilarious.
Yeah, but it's new. The new season's on Prime, but it's not on Prime. You have to buy it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I end up buying it every time. I guess it comes after it's completely out. Then it might be free or part of Prime, or it might just be a pay thing. I don't know.
So if you guys want a good laugh, check it out. It's funny. It's a little bit disturbing at some points, but it's funny. Like the octopus. Like why?
Oh, the octopus was amazing.
It's so silly. Like I'm removing octopuses from people, and then we see like in the show there's this galactic octopus that's got quite an attitude, and I was like,
but I think they are galactic, the real octopus.
They are.
Yeah,
they are.
I don't think they're very fake.
People, yes, they are. They're galactics.
Do you know that they've been here longer than if dinosaurs were here? Dinosaur time.
That doesn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah, I mean they are definitely galactic beings that have lived here forever. I mean, you know, they're so cool.
Mm-hmm. They really are, but I wouldn't want to mess with them.
Yeah. I wouldn't either. I'm not
Michelle
eating
says
that
galactics
octopus.
we eat. Well, there's some that eat us too, just for the record. Like there's balance in all things.
Especially our light. Yeah.
I get it. This is such a fun chit chat. I love
This
this
was fun.
conversation. Thank you,
Me too.
Rachel.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Make sure that
Thanks,
you guys check it out.
everyone.
Archie says all octopi bad. No, nothing is all bad. There's not a single race in existence that's all bad. There's even good reptilians
even
out there.
grays. Yeah.
Yep, even good grays. There's a balance of all things. Look at humans, you know, and the bright spectrum of what humans are. We get the whole shebang. All the races are like that. You get all a mix.
Yeah.
You guys had great questions today, by the way. Thank you for being part of our conversation. It's really nice to have some help asking questions because I just play this by ear. I don't prep a single question for these chats. Just literally
You do great. Your guides help you out.
So just going to share your link really quick where people can follow you. And you've also got your Facebook group, 5D Daily. Make sure that you guys join that group. It's a lot of fun. She's got all kinds of interesting stuff in the group. So make sure
we go live there every week and sometimes more than once a week. So I'd love to have you guys. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thanks,
and I'd love to have you back in a couple of weeks and we'll hear how your class went.
Okay. Sounds good.
Lovely.
Okay. All right. Bye, everyone. Are you frozen? Did we lose Laura? Yeah, we're frozen, huh?
Oh, the power went out.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
Am I connected again?
You are. You're back.
Look, it's dark.
Yeah. I was just waving by. I was like, wait, what happened? Yeah, you should just turn it off, I think. Can't hear you.
Love you guys. See you later. Bye. See you soon. Bye. I don't know, buddy. The power's out. I'll see you later, guys. Bye.
Thanks, Laura.
What is going on?